So I want to go through and show you how earnings are doing for companies, because if you're looking at deterioration in these, then you're going to see deterioration in the economy and then jobs and everything else. So let's start at the focal point where companies' earnings are. So if you go over to here, let me get my head out of the way once again. And here's what we're focusing in on right through here, the earnings per share for these companies. Okay, so here's what came in. This is before the bell. All right, so we have AT&T. It's a green at 3. You have GEV up 20%. These other ones, what I want you to understand is all these, look at them, they're all in the green. So they're saying the earnings per share either matched or exceeded what the markets were expecting. So that's giving us good news when it comes to corporations and corporate profits. So those are staying in check. So that means, well, maybe the consumer's kind of okay, and maybe the jobs market doesn't have to crash. Okay, so maybe we can just have a smooth landing. And a lot of mainstream media doesn't want to say that, but it's so far things aren't looking so bad. And then as we get tariff relief, as we got from Japan yesterday, more and more deals are going to float through. We'll get more clarity on that. And that'll be more, maybe a little bit easier to figure out what's going on in the bond market as well as mortgage rates. So let's get over to the MBS market today. It is down 21 ticks. That means mortgage rates are probably going to pop up to about 6.82 or 83. That's what we might see by the end of the day. You're going to have to stay tuned to the closing bell when I report to see where those numbers come in, but we'll be above 6.8 today. I keep thinking, our rates are going to be, let's go to Rick Santelli. I'm going to give you my rates. I'm going to say my rates are going to be between 6.625 and 6.875, just a spread of about 0.25%, and that's where they've basically been trading for over the last month. So if you're really focused in on mortgage rates, you're seeing a little bit of reprieve from the highs that we saw about 7% not too long ago. We're teetering at 6.75 right about there. I think we're going to stay steady there. Where I was wrong, home values. Folks, I apologize. I kept telling you guys home prices were going to be flat. Actually, there was a report out yesterday saying home prices are up yet again 2% this year so far. So my apologies there for those sitting on the sidelines waiting for some price reprieve because of me. I apologize. I thought what you got to really focus in on your area, because what we post here is national numbers. So what is your area actually doing? That's what you really need to focus in on. So let's get over to the economic calendar to recap basically the news that came in today. We had building permits right in line with expectations. Last reading was 1.39, expected to stay at 1.39. It stayed at 1.39. Now here's the jobs report that Rick Santelli was going through. Last reading was 221,000 people got laid off for the first time, expected to increase to 227. It actually dropped to 217. That's a good check mark for the employment numbers. You go to continued jobless claims, right on point. Last time was 1.95. They thought it would go to 1.96. It came in at 1.95. So